yeah. Yeah, am I? Yes, good. So yeah, good evening. Um, yes, let's talk about a few issues, and then later on, of course, I will open the phone lines so that you can also, contribute. You can say something. If we believe in democracy, we believe in freedom of expression. So I have my opinion. You may have your own opinion. And sometimes, we may agree, sometimes we may not agree. That's part of life. So for me, when I come here, it is not that I want what I say. Because some of you like to say, Tayali, the problems that you think that or what you say is what it is. No, I'm only human. So sometimes, I may not have it. I may not be right. So you can also, contribute. You can call on this program and, express yourself. So I will open the phone lines later on. But basically, what I wanted is to respond. Though I don't like this attitude of me responding to issues, I like to set the agenda. So I'm hoping that by next week, because this week I'm still putting up a few things here and there. I'm getting there, but I'm putting up a few things here and there. I want to, particularly, the internet. I want to get the internet. So I'm hoping that I will have internet during the course of this week, and then I will also need to sort out a few issues at home. My problems. It's very difficult to think properly. It's very difficult to concentrate. I don't just like to speak. I want to take time to reflect on what I'm talking about, so that I'm convinced. Sometimes to do a little bit of a research, that's what I want. Now, unfortunately, when you are overwhelmed with issues here and there, it becomes difficult for you to concentrate and focus on the issues that you want to bring out. So I'm hoping that this week I might be able to settle down. I might be able to settle down. I might be able to sort out some of those problems that needs to be sorted out at home. Yeah. Anyway, nonetheless, we have to talk about this issue. Particularly tonight, I want to talk about this issue of corruption. UPND, they have done very well in propaganda against PF. PF seem to be like it's a corrupt party, but no, it's UPND. Just like what CR1 yesterday said. CR1 yesterday I said a lot of things. And it is interesting that this time around we are at least on the same side. We are agreeing, we are speaking the same language. Myself and CR1, we are speaking the same language. Of course, we are speaking on the same language on the political aspects. So CR1 reviewed a lot of things, and the praise singer, you seem to be so confused and living in denial. Some of the people were waking me up, because when CR1 was having broadcast, I was actually sleeping. You know, the time differences for me. That time I was, you know, it was early morning hours. And some people were texting me, hey, have you seen CR1 doesn't have numbers? And so you actually just woke me up to follow the broadcast. And I mean, the dude had numbers. He went at one point, but anyway, for me, I've seen one of the screenshots that he even reached 14,000. For me, when I started watching, it was around, 12, it was just oscillating there, just about 13,000 people were watching. But I saw in some of the clips that he actually reached even 14,000. Now, 14,000, or if you want, put it even at 12,000. 12,000 people watching you. 12,000 people watching a live broadcast. That is not a joke. That is not a joke. Some of you don't understand these statistics. That is not a joke. For me, right now, I've got only 300 and 300, it is oscillating there, just above 350 so far. Okay? Now, even that is not a joke. I know my network is not okay. And I know even from the Zambian side, there is a little bit of a problem. But to just reach even just 100, before you talk, you try one time, try to go live. Try to go live, just in your own view, try to go live and see. I know there is a difference between yourselves and myself, me being a public person, and you are a private person, but even you as a private person, if you can get 50, you should thank God. A lot of you, if you can even reach 10, Katwish, just a lot of you, if you can reach 10 people watching you, it is a serious achievement. From there, if you can reach 50, just 100, it's a challenge. Just one day, put up a courage and put your phone there and start talking and see how many people are going to follow you. See if you are going to have people following you, even 100 people following you. Just try it. Try it. It's not easy. Just 100, it's not easy. For public figures, 200, it is an achievement. 300, it is an achievement. There are very few people in Zambia, politicians, the very politicians that you talk about, the very politicians that you think they are renowned. If they go live, if they get 100, if they get 200, it is an achievement. If they get 300, it is an achievement. Some of us who reaches 1,000, 2,000, it is a serious achievement that you cannot take for granted. Just reaching 1,000, there are very few politicians who reach 1,000. Even Hakainde Hichilema, he's a president. Watch his live. When he goes live, how many people follow him? The biggest Hakainde Hichilema would get around this time is about 5,000. If he manages to get 5,000, it must be something very important. But otherwise, he will get just slightly above 100, above 1,000. Some of these other events, he doesn't even reach 1,000. It will just be 400, 500, 600, that's it. But I must also tell you that there is a difference. For me, my numbers are organic, meaning I don't advertise my page. I don't advertise my page with Facebook. I don't. It's all organic. But for CR1, for Hakainde Hichilema, he actually puts in money. They put in money so that Facebook can, advertise for them. And that's why you see, sometimes in the Twalanda Pwefi, you see Utuma numbers to Achinchirako. Numbers will go up because they do advertise. And that's when they get some numbers. But organically, HH would not be able to get so many numbers. And many other politicians, let's just be fair, including myself, let's just be fair, you will not be able to get so many numbers. So these numbers, when you see 1,000K, 1K, you have to give respect to whoever is giving that presentation, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And of course, these are main factors. There are even other factors now. Other factors which includes, first of all, it's about the population of the country. Zambia we're just about 22 million, 22, 23 million now. And the percentage of people who are on internet is just about 10%. So we're talking about 200,000 people who have got smartphones, 200,000 people. And those 200,000 people, then talk about, the load shedding that has come in, then talk about the economy. So really, it takes a lot for you to get the numbers when you go live on social media. It takes a lot. Now, with all that, then you have a guy that reaches 5,000. It goes to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. Go and check on HH statistics when he last got, above 5,000. Now, this guy got 3 times the numbers of the president, the Republican president. He got 3 times the numbers. He is not a president. He is not covered by ZNBC every day, because that gives you, the popularity, that gives you the selling. But he's not. And he's not Zambian, by the way. He's not even in Zambia. And yet, he gets those numbers. Those numbers, under the circumstances, they are not numbers that you should take for granted. And I'm taking my time to talk about this because I want some of you to realize that it takes a lot for somebody to reach those numbers. Then when you talk about, I was also looking at the statistics now, so far the views. He has almost reached 500,000 within 24 hours. 500,000. Mulonfa, your what? Your singers, the singers, the big. If you reach as a singer, you even talk about 1 million within 24 hours, whatever. Sia One has reached almost 500,000. 500,000 views. That is not a joke. And 500,000 views on Facebook, by the way, because you also have to consider other platforms. Other people watch through YouTube. Other people watch through TikTok. But just on Facebook, he has reached about 500,000. So that is not something that you should take for granted. That is not something that you should dismiss. And I'm saying this to you, praise singers, because some of you praise singers, you don't realize. I'm helping you to open your mind, to realize what is at stake here. And what is at stake is that you are gone. That is what is at stake. You are gone. Because people, what Siawan was saying, he was speaking against UPND. And because he was speaking against UPND, his message was widely covered. His message was as sweet as honey. People want to hear it. And this is what was happening even myself last time when I gravitated towards UPND. I lost numbers. That time, after Bamfianta, they squeezed me, and I gave up. Because really it was just too much, and I gave up. I said, okay, fine. Let me just go and sleep with the devil. And when I went, numbers evaporated. There was a serious surge in numbers. Even when I go live, there were not many people that were coming. Even, I don't think I've recovered that much, because before I was having bigger numbers. Most of the times I would have 1.5, 2,000, sometimes it would go to 3,000. And there were times when it would go up to 5,000. But I've never recovered from the time that I went to UPND and I came back, to do the right thing. I have never recovered, because a number of people had gone. because they were not interested. Now, let me tell you, people are not interested in hearing some sweet talk, some, fake praises of Hakainde Hichilema. People are not interested. And I'm challenging you, which UPND? I'm challenging you by UPND. Even mwewe neba koswe, even mwewe neba nankane ba Zambia watchdog. Go live. Go live and see how many numbers are going to follow you. If your president himself cannot be followed, what about Imwaka Pususu? Imwaka Pususu Bakapenda Mabula? Who is going to listen to you? If your chief propagandist, if your chief liar, your chief mythomania cannot be followed, what about the rest of you? There is no minister in UPND. There is no any government official. Na mfeta bukawana. Let him have a live broadcast. You will not have the numbers that some of us are enjoying action. Not even to talk about CR1, but just what some of us get. You will not get it. Because people are not interested in your propaganda. People, they are tired of your lies. This is something that you need to realize. People are just tired of your lies. They are tired of your lies. You will lie and lie and lie, but people are not fools. People have realized. And it is just that people are scared to talk. They can't express themselves the way at least people are expressing themselves during PF. We used to complain that no, Edgar Lungu was a dictator because some of us were being arrested, but no, we had not seen it. Now we have seen the real dictatorship. A dictatorship whereby a caller on radio is being followed. People making comments on social media are being followed. People have told me, no, we can't watch when you are live because we might be noticed. So we watch in the night. People watch our broadcast in the night. That's why even CR1 you see yesterday when he was broadcasting, there were some people that watched, some of them didn't watch, and you are seeing that within 24 hours is reaching almost 500,000. It is because a number of people watch Yaka Bisila. They watch in the blankets. They watch hiding. So the bottom line is that UPND, no matter how much you try, to console yourself or to live in denial that you are doing okay, you are not doing okay. And people are not interested. Evidence is the broadcast that CR1 had. He had clearly stated it, that he was going to speak against UPND. If indeed people were not interested, if indeed people, it was like it used to be, because in the past when UPND was in opposition, that's what used to happen. When you are talking about PF, nice things, people will not be interested. They want to hear the negative things about PF. That is what is happening. But for you, it's even worse. By UPND, it's even worse. PF, it was happening, but for you, it is worse. Why is it worse? Why is it worse? It is worse because you have only been in power for 3 years. For 3 years. And we are not anywhere near the elections, by the way. We are not anywhere near the elections. So this year one that you are trying to say, he doesn't have numbers. Hey, look at the numbers. It is not even the time of elections. It is not even time of elections. We are so long, we have got a long way to go before the elections. Now, imagine if we are going to be near. Yeah, it cuts, and these are some of the challenges that I need to resolve. I need to resolve. Mwoba kweteka ngwe, mwantumina kuka ngwe. Mwantumina kuka ngwe, nshita sort out ka internet. But anyway, so we are saying this is not even the time of elections. Imagine when we will get near to the elections. And this is why I am actually agreeing with CR1 when he says we might not even reach 2026. If people are going, and this was just the first broadcast, now the next time that CR1 will go live, imagine how many people are going to start following him. Because the more he is going to be talking, the more people will, flock to his page. And very soon you realize that there will be so many people following CR1. And I can assure you, with CR1's kind of talk, it's true. We might not even reach 2026. Okay? Because for me, I talk, but I don't talk like CR1. I reserve some of these things. I can't say some of these things that CR1 says. In spite of me being outside the country, I can't say certain things. Because, by the way, I mean, I still have to maintain some sobriety in the way that I present my message. But I can assure you that what you saw yesterday is not something that you should take for granted, and it is evidence that a lot of people are not interested in hearing, the praises of UPND. People want to hear the rot of the UPND. But the UPND are fighting. This is a fact. UPND is fighting. They are fighting the same way they were fighting before. They are fighting even now to make PF look so bad, particularly Edgar Lungu. The modus operandi of the UPND is that whoever poses a threat to them politically, what they do, they go for that person with personal slander. That's what they do. They go with personal slander. They are very good at slandering people. They are very good at maligning people. They are very, very good at that. That's what they do. If you look at the moment, who is the person that they are so scared of? The UPND are so scared of Edgar Chagwa. That's no doubt. Hakainde Hichilema, when he hears Edgar Chagwa, I'm sure his BP goes up. His BP goes up. I'm sure his hair goes gray when he hears Edgar Chagwa. And the UPND, they are working very hard to paint Edgar Chagwa as a bad man. They talk about Edgar Chagwa when you say, no, you want people to start hacking, you want pangas to start coming back. But Edgar Lungu, let's face it, Edgar Lungu is not a violent man. He is not. Edgar Lungu never sends people to say, go and beat this one. No. And like I've said, most of the violence that was happening then, when UPND was in power, they were actually started by the UPND. The UPND used to provoke the situation. And at the end of the day, there were those political violence. It is not so much the PF. The PF was on the receiving end and they were reacting to the violence of the UPND. And Edgar Lungu, on the other hand, was actually restraining his cadres. He was restraining his cadres. If Edgar Lungu was a violent man, like some of the politicians that we have had in the past, I don't want to mention them, but some of the politicians that we have had, but Edgar Lungu used to restrain his cadres. So you cannot put the violence, whatever violence, whether it was on PF, you cannot bring Edgar Lungu in that equation. You cannot bring Edgar Lungu in that scenario. Edgar Lungu is not violent. But you see, when Edgar Lungu makes a statement, or when Edgar Lungu appears in public, what you bring is amapanga. Amapanga ya Kawere. How does it relate amapanga na Edgar Lungu? Because this man is a peaceful man. This man is not a man that would harm another person violently. He can't. Because we are talking about Edgar Lungu, that's what we're talking about. So how are you relating amapanga and whatever? And yet you are the ones who are carrying amapangas. Something that you have even done, even during this time when you are in power. You brought amapangas there in Chipata compound. You brought amapangas. But you are so good. You want to threaten people. People will be maimed. People will be whatever. No. No, Edgar Lungu is not violent. Edgar Lungu always restrained his cadres. And if anything, if Edgar Lungu was that violent, if Edgar Lungu was that ruthless, by you painting that amwale utunga, ngamwale umwa, but Edgar Lungu used to restrain them. He used to restrain them. And by the way, a number of cadres, PF cadres, were arrested who were involved in violence. A number of them were arrested. I know some people are even actually serving for being engaged, for engaging in political violence during the time of PF, and they were PF members. This I know. One example is, you remember there was that a cadre who fired shots at Mova Hotel in Kitwe. That man, I don't know if he's still serving. I think I know he was arrested and he was convicted and he was serving. Maybe he just came out. And there are a number of people, there are a number of PF cadres who were arrested and convicted. Something that we are not seeing now. Now we are seeing cadres going publicly on air and say, we are going to fix this one, we are going to whatever. No, nothing is done. We didn't have that kind of nonsense during the time of PF. So you cannot attribute whatever violence that used to happen to Edgar Lungu. But this is the modus operandi of the UPND. They want to mess up Edgar Lungu. They want to threaten people. But look, even Sata, people used to threaten Sata. Whatever. People didn't just care. And this is a stage where we have reached. No matter what you're going to be saying about Edgar Lungu, people will not be interested. They will not be interested. Because people have now compared the leadership of Edgar Lungu and the leadership of Hakainde Hichilema. The people that actually hated Edgar Lungu, they have now turned around to say he's a better president. And one good example is the very CR1 that we are talking about. CR1 is now, he has seen that really he made a mistake. Like he said yesterday, he clearly said it. I didn't know the monster I was campaigning for. This man is terrible. And that's why CR1 has vowed to bring down UPND, to bring down Hakainde Hichilema, because he has realized he's a bad guy. And yes, me, I will never move. Because some of you come up, hey, Tayali, but you said this, but you said this. I will still stand that the weaknesses that I spoke about before on by Edgar Lungu, I will still stand with them. And I will speak to him and I will speak about them to make sure that Edgar Lungu becomes a better president. So, yes, he has his weaknesses. But I am strongly convinced that this time around, Edgar Chagwa Lungu will emerge a far much better leader. A far much better leader, because those things that we used to speak about, which he ignored, they costed him. They costed him an election. And now when he comes back, I don't think he will take for granted those issues that we're talking about. I'm sure those issues, he will address them. He will make sure he's not a weak leader that will leave things to chance, that will leave people to do whatever they want. I strongly believe he will come out, as somebody that will be in control of the situation. I am very sure about that. I am sure he will come back as a person, as a leader who is more tolerant, who will allow people to express themselves, like myself. Because yes, I was arrested. It's a fact. I was arrested. But now, the same Edgar Lungu has actually understood me. And we actually talk about some of these issues. And I can assure you that he now has a better appreciation of people talking, and he will pay attention. He will be a better leader. So let us not doubt Edgar Chagwa Lungu in this instance. He's going to be a better leader, that's for sure. He has learned his lesson. He's going to be a better leader. So let us not hear what UPND are saying, the scandalous propaganda against Edgar Chagwa Lungu, that is going to bring pangas, is going to bring violence. No. But another propaganda that UPND is running against Edgar Chagwa Lungu is the corruption fights. When HH was talking, and when indeed everybody was talking, including CR1, they labeled Edgar Chagwa Lungu to look like is swimming in money, is filthy corrupt. That's why they branded him. They branded the man to be so corrupt. Kosomumpoto. They even sang, songs. Kosomumpoto. They labeled the man so corrupt. And from all that was said about Edgar Lungu, one would have expected that immediately Hakainde Hichilema took over power, we would expected that he was going to reveal the tunnels of corruption, like the way Chilufya revealed the tunnels of liberation struggles, which was very unfortunate, because those tunnels were the evidence of our liberation struggle, of how we fought, with other countries. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that we expected that Hakainde Hichilema would come and unearth, bring bare the corruption of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. That is what we anticipated. And even you, Mwebale Tamba, each one of you, I am sure you expected that there will be corruption that will be unearthed, to say this is what Edgar Lungu was doing, this is how he stole money, this is where the money is. But today, as we speak, our open phone lines, I want you to speak about the corruption of Edgar Chagwa Lungu, where you say here he was involved, here he got so much money. There is nothing. Hakainde Hichilema baliesha to lie. He tried. He talked about the Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream yo nanomboko yaba. Gulf Stream yo nanomboko yaba. Shanshani. Roads, whatever. There is nothing that Hakainde Hichilema has brought. And you can't tell me that Hakainde Hichilema, if at all he had found something incriminating on Edgar Lungu, you can't tell me he would have hesitated to bring it out. He would have come out running to say, here is a corruption against this man. He would have even gone to parliament to remove his immunity. Hakainde Hichilema has not removed the immunity of Edgar Chagwa Lungu, not because he's doing him a favor or he doesn't want. No, he hasn't done it because there is nothing that he can bring before parliament, especially now that the law is very strong, whereby it's not just a matter of going to court and make allegations and immunity is removed like it happened to Chilufya. No, this time around you have to create a prima facie. You have to establish a prima facie case for that immunity to be removed. So yali mushupa Hakainde Hichilema. The whole point is that there is no corruption that has gone directly on Edgar Chagwa Lungu. If you have any of those, when I open the phone lines, I want you to bring it to say, this is what Edgar Lungu did. I know some of you would bring up issues like Faith and Daliso and Esther Lungu and so on and so forth. Edgar Lungu has been very clear. Edgar Lungu has been very, very clear. Edgar Lungu has told us, point blank, when you are a president, you have a number of people coming and giving you gifts. He has been very clear, he has not hidden. A number of people give you gifts. I call them mumutulo. There are a number of people, when you are a president, who come and offer you money, offer you vehicles, offer you many things. This happens everywhere. Even in your micro situations, in your micro positions, in your small positions, you all receive gifts. Na malonda wapa hotel, malonda wapa hotel. Abale fuma bantu na bali pira. They have paid hotel bills and everything. As they come out, they find a guard standing by the roadside. Asaluta. Babula tenkwacha bamupera. Malonda, a guard manning a car park. At a hotel, at a whatever. You see that when people are going, they give him something. Of course, 2 malonda is a malonda. So they will give him a 10 kwacha, they will give him a 20 kwacha, they will give him a 50 kwacha. Those who have, they will even give 100 kwacha. Like myself, by the way, I'm very generous with those people. Those people who know whatever, I try to be very generous. Even in there are people who came. They came to fix a few things here and there and whatever. As they were going, nachisa ulaka 50, never pay. Mubu chushi wandi never pay. So that bread. This happens at every level, especially if you are a good person, especially if you are a friendly person. Of course, even me. So apana mona kana message kachira tiki. Maybe somebody antumina kwa ya kushita ntuanikana ya kushita internet. That's why you say no. Hey, ati mushani na bwali. Hey, you live on handouts. Young man, young lady. Let me tell you, there's nothing for nothing. There is nothing for nothing. People will give you according to your value. If you don't have value, not ukabula no wakupela 10 kwacha. 10 kwacha. 10 kwacha tawakaimone if you don't have value. But if you have value, people will give you much more. They will give you according to your value. Because you have created value. Create value. Even in my politics, today, some of you praise singers. Muisa social media, but mwavula no compare kofe 5 kwacha. Nobody will give you. You can call none. Nobody will give you because you have no value. You create value by how you relate with people, the friendship you create with your friends. You know how they value you. If people value you, they will give you. If you have created value in yourself, you will receive. Mwalimu ishwa mtale mwanza. Ndei pshafu. Mwalimu ishwa mtale mwanza. You know, if you create value, and some of these girls but you girls, you find that, this girl, she's not even that beautiful, you know, but she has created value in herself. But some of them, you know, very beautiful and everything, but Baba Bonfiaf. You see, create value. And if you have created value, people will bless you with what they have. And this is what Edgar Lungu has been talking about. Edgar Lungu, as a president, he received so much from different people. Presidents from other countries, some businessmen and so on and so forth, they used to give him things. And this is what Edgar Lungu shared with his family. There is nowhere ukubali ivempia Edgar Lungu ali ivempia whatever takwava haka inde has got so much information. He would have brought out that information, but he hasn't because it's not there. But the money that you talk about, it's money that Edgar Lungu has clearly said, when I was the president, a lot of people used to give. Of course, Kuliba HH, you will never hear of this because HH Vakaso. HH is actually receiving more than Edgar Lungu. He's receiving more than Edgar Lungu, but I'll come back to that later. So, Edgar Lungu received these gifts, and these are the gifts that he used to help. Edgar Lungu said this in public domain. He helped a lot of people. He helped traditional leaders. He helped the party. He helped private people out of that money. So in the Ramasharesa kuli Edgar Lungu, Ngomtulo, Edgar Lungu was distributing it. And you know, so many people got money from Edgar Lungu, including Thabo Kawana. Thabo Kawana is a beneficiary of Umutulo wakwa Edgar Lungu. Thabo Kawana is a beneficiary. Thabo Kawana is a beneficiary. And I can tell you that even some other people in UPND, there were other people in UPND that benefited from Edgar Lungu Mutulo. Ene shobale mupela, ale wonfia, kubantu, ale pela bantu. But uyuhaka inde ichnemo, waka woko. That's why you don't hear anything. Past State House paranga mwayapo, during the time of Edgar Lungu, pale babantu, abengi. Obo Edgar Lungu ale lipiraba skulu. Ebo Edgar Lungu ale lisha. Pali abentu abengi pale papa State House. Fwe bale ya ku State House. Tuale tichikana na abantu aba bambi fe. Getting the gifts. Lelonga mwa ku State House. Mulabasanga po abantu. Do you find the people there who go to kuli HH tibasa mkulomba ko mutulo? Abakanye ko mutulo. Nakalia. This is the difference. If you are going to Edgar Lungu ali muntu uyumu avikamu ni umbi. Edgar Lungu was distributing what he was receiving. He was receiving and he was distributing it. And part of it, of course, he was also giving it to his family. And Edgar Lungu, look, he was not that careless. He is a man who tried to empower his children. He empowered his children. Ulia chieso, you know, that logic, bapoka, bampandra business, and you continue, you run that. Bamaeva Esther Lungu, iwe, ulimkashwandi, kwa banemfwa. Kwa banemfwa, limbimailo kutinafwa. Palika ploti pali. Kulapo ama flats. Yadi ama flats. Yadi ama flats. Bushe kwena, tell me. I mean, which president? What is wrong in doing that? You receive gifts. Ngafino finena inewe ne panonda ndapokeda kotuma gift. Na pokeda koka gift. Tina bakashwandi. Kamoto kaka. O bakashwandi. Kuleni pwapa. You see? What is wrong in that? Where is the corruption? Leloba haka imeichi ni mabaisa. Ati no. It is the proceed of crime. Bamaeva Esther Lungu, it is proceed of crime. But clearly, Ulefwa Fyokumfwa can understand that at that level of a president, at the level of president, you receive so much. And what we are talking about is nothing. Because when you, at that level, $1 million would come to you like nothing. Of course, people are soliciting for this and that and whatever. That is true. But bottom line is that, you know, they are gifts. Politicians will live on the gifts that we receive. Politicians, when you are a politician, you are financed. When you are a politician, you are helped by other people. Even me, I'm helped by other people. And the people that help me, it's not even Edgar Lungu, because some of you think that no Edgar Lungu. No, it is not even Edgar Lungu. There are a number of people. Yesterday, I received some money yesterday. That's why. And then at that time, I'm going to sort out the VA. Yesterday, I received money. But the person that gave me money is not a person that I would have even thought. It's not a person that I would have even thought. He just said, you know, Mr. Tayali, how can I send you some money? You know. And this is a person to and he sent me money yesterday. $500 he sent me. $500 he sent me. You see, if Chagwa as a politician, that is my level. Now I'm being but Edgar Lungu as a president, if me, Chilufya Tayali, from nowhere, is not even rich and whatever, he sent me 500. Now think of it for a president. Think of it for a president. A lot of money is given. A lot of you would have been benefiting. Never praise singer. Ngawali mistira kofena ngwama phone fya yengerera kofye. Ngawali mistira. But tetimushimone kuli akainde ichima because wakaso. Nomba Edgar Lungu enale yakanya. Infumu ale shipela. Utuma organization ale tupela. Ama churches ale bapela. Abala ndabenge ale bapela. Bakada ale bapela. Indala masharifu makumuturo. So indala masharifu makumuturo. Kuchakano kukulira abakashiba kweshua utuma flati. Utu akwabati mukashwandi na yokwata kwapa. Just in case tetusho mailofika chitika. Then, you know, you set up a business. Then, let's talk about Daliso. Let's talk about Daliso. Because you are busy talking about, hey, Daliso. Daliso is, I stand to be corrected, but is the only male boy, is the only male son, is the only male child of Edgar Chagwa. Is the firstborn son, the eldest son. And Edgar Lungu doesn't have businesses. He doesn't have businesses, Edgar Lungu. He doesn't have businesses. And what Edgar Lungu did, he started investing in his son. Ulia ale womba ulia, he was working. Ale womba ku katunga ni ku customs kunanga ni ku zedara e. He used to work. Edgar Lungu invested in his son. They created a company. Mwana wakwe. What is wrong in that? In creating a company, you give him resources, start a company. They buy properties. They buy vehicles in the company. And Mulasavaila, 60 chakuti. Do you know that some of the cars, they were being hired? Some of the cars were being hired. If you are hiring, if you are in a business that you are even hiring vehicles, how many vehicles would you have? Because you have 69 vehicles, 69 vehicles. Whichever mushtirati, ule endera mole sendera muba gero. Because if mule efisendera, because imanga mwatontonga nyapali motoka. Mutontonga nyafati motoka, yaku kwera mo, yaku sendera muba gero, yaku tasha. Vambi vehicles are assets. They are capital. They are a way of generating money. And those vehicles were being used partly in the business. They were being used in the business. It is a business that was set. So you should differentiate, because I've seen the naive way of looking at this. A gift, birthday gift. Ba Edgar Lungu taba fish for my birthday gift na imwe. Taba fish ba. Ba Edgar Lungu gift, motoke. No. At least, I mean, I may not be that close, I may not be part of the house, but surely, I don't think Edgar Lungu is like that. What you are failing to attach to all this nonsense, what you are failing to attach is that these things that you are talking about, they were an investment in a company. They were an investment in a company. They were not, yes, and when you are giving, like myself, I've got a company, CTTK. If I'm putting money in my company, it depends. I can put it an investment, which I should do. get back. But I can put it as a gift that I give, or you can enter it as a donation. You can enter it as a donation. You can enter it as a gift. Echisungu mulelo na chicho mulefilo kuchita understand. Vampela ma gift. Imobile because amano alife muli birthday queen yarama gift. Birthday queen bachita receive. So gift. No. Temuli dia style yo. Nimuli dia style yako bati. This is how you are going to put it. In the company, you have to enter it. How you are going to enter it? You are going to enter it as a gift. You can enter it as a donation. But you can't donate to your son. You can't donate to your child. To your child, it's a gift. If you get money and you give to a child, what is that? It's a gift. But of course, this gift was an empowerment in a company. It was an empowerment in a company. And where was Edgar Lungu getting these things? Some of these things, of course, is what I've just spoken about, where people give you, certain things, and you put it as an investment. You boost the business. So this is the whole situation. It is not that there is so aikele panganda alero shefinyo toka 66. And some of the vehicles, I know for a fact that some of these vehicles, they are actually even exaggerated. Some of the vehicles, they were already even sold. Some of the vehicles were even sold. But what these unprofessional people did, they just went all the cars which were in the name of that company and they brought them out. But some of them were even sold. And by the way, there is even a loan. I know for a fact that there is a loan which was gotten to buy some of these properties. And I know for a fact that at one point, because I remember there was a time when I went to Edgar Lungu and he had received a letter from the bank and they were demanding that he makes good over the payment. And they were struggling because the company is not running properly and they have to service a loan. So I know for a fact that there is also a loan that is involved. Ila filling station in Mulela, the pay filling station ya kale na lile panga pone chongo pale. Ya kale ya dini car park. It was a car park. It was the premises mobile Edgar Lungu imetoka shale ya park na kuchawama. Bale lipilisha. Pay night 5 kachinga ni 5 kwacha or something. Afterwards they decided to make a filling station. And the people of that area, actually, the area, Jack Compound, came to me. Just like my old Facebook page has been scrapped off by UPND. But I went and made noise there because it was, according to me, it was not safe. That area, it is too crowded. I even went as far as Zema, complaining on behalf of the people around there. They didn't want that filling station. But that place has been there for a long time. And of course, they made a filling station and they have listed and they are getting money out of it. So if you say really, it is not something that cannot be explained. It is something that can be clearly explained. The only issue is that UPND is engaged in slandering Edgar Chagwa because they are scared, because they don't want him to come back as president. So they are busy slandering him. They are busy creating cases. I think in this week, Bamaeva Esther Lungu has to go back to DEC. Mukulondo Lench. What is she going to explain? And honestly, where justice exists, how can somebody say, look, you have found me with this money, or you have found me with this vehicle. The person who gave me is this one. How can you impute, a guilt on me to say you have stolen? When I've told you to say, this phone you have found me with was given to me by this person. And that person is there. Why don't you go to that person and ask him? Or at least if you are to arrest, why don't you arrest him to be an accomplice? At least jointly charge them. So why are you charging Daliso? Why are you charging Daliso? When Daliso is saying, my father is the one who gave me, and the father is there, why are you not arresting the father? So that because Daliso has said, my father gave me. The children have also said, my father gave me. Why are you not going to the father? If really you stand for justice, why are you not going to the father? No, the father has immunity. He has immunity. There is provision in the constitution where you can go to parliament and remove the immunity and sort out this guy. Why aren't you doing that? If really you mean justice, why don't you strip off that immunity and prosecute this guy? Because these people that you are following, they are all innocent. Vaesta bamulekonka, you go and swear to say Vaesta only received Nampongani 3 million or Nampongani 300,000. But the value that she had is whatever, and some of these values are highly inflated. Why are you troubling Vaesta? Why are you asking Vaesta to produce what she has been earning when she's a housewife? And she clearly says, my husband gave me. Why aren't you going to Edgar Lungu and strip his immunity? And Edgar Lungu has been generous to actually volunteer information to say, look, you guys, I used to receive money. I used to receive money. Of course, some fools who come up and say, no, but let him tell us. No, come on, are you telling me you want to be mentioning, to say, oh, Trump gave me money, oh, Kenyatta gave me money, oh, Tshisekedi gave me money. You can't do that. You can't do that. But nonetheless, this is what is there. This is what is there. If you really want justice, why don't you follow Edgar Lungu? If really there is something that was stolen, why don't you follow Edgar Lungu? Why go after his children? Why go after Daliso? What do you want Daliso to say? What do you want Daliso to say? You are busy asking me, bringing, and you are so cheap. You are so cheap. You are very, very cheap, because really, even when the money that you are talking about, it's not much money, eh? It's not much money. What chushi if it just had to be in chushi? But otherwise, it's not much money. It's not a lot of money that we're talking about. Especially when you're talking about a former president. But you are busy beckoning me, bombarding me in the inboxes. Hey, have you heard what Daliso said? Hey, gifts. Yeah. And these are not gifts that Kavia could times and go and drink. No. These are not gifts that you are giving to a child like a cake. No. There is a company, a well-established company, where they are investing. And this is his son, for goodness sake. The man doesn't have business, so he decided to invest in the son. What is wrong in that? What is wrong in doing that? What is wrong? Problem to Akwata, because if we are struggling and whatever, we don't want to believe that others can be okay. And pulling each other, wanting everyone to be poor at our level, we will never go up. Pulling those who have, to pull them down so that they come to our level, will not help us. Rather, let's strive to go up. If anything, let's help to push them up, so that at least when they have, we can have something to share. This attitude of wanting to put people where we are, so that trample through children will not help us. Push people up, bakwate, so that but UPND is really striving to make Edgar Lungu look bad, to make PF look bad. Look, for example, the other one, the other issue of Boma Nusambo. Boma Nusambo, he was, I think it's today. Is it today or yesterday? It's today. He has been found with a case to answer. And many other people at, proceeds of crime. Boma Nusambo was a minister He was a minister in Copperbelt. He was a minister in Lusaka. Why don't we get something that Bowman did in those offices and say, this is what Bowman stole. This is the corruption that Bowman did. Now, we are busy accusing these people of corruption, and yet we cannot point at the crime itself. All we are doing is pointing, they have this, they have this, they have this. Where did they get? We are politicians, for goodness sake. Even Hakainde Hichilema, to reach where he is, he has received so much money, Hakainde Hichilema, so much money. In the 17 years that he was struggling to become president, he has received so much money, far much more than all these people that you are following, far much more than even Hakainde, Edgar Lungu, far much more. He has received a lot of money, Hakainde Hichilema. You cannot compare the money that Hakainde Hichilema has received from these people to these people that you are calling corrupt today. These people that are in court today. But it is all propaganda. It is all propaganda. And those who really think, those who are not hypnotized, who are not indoctrinated, can see it. You can understand it. Because even all of you where you are, somewhere, somehow you receive Utuma gift to those that, you know, that like you, those that you relate well with. They give you Utuma gifts. But they give you according to their capacity. If you had friends with big money, they will give you big money. And this is the same with Bowman. This is the same with these others. Oh, Mulekaka. These others. Muchemwa na mumuingisha, and you are getting the properties. Muchemwa was a politician. A very gifted politician with so much influence. Muchemwa would, organize people at, within a short time, in a spur of a moment, Muchemwa will be surrounded by all these people. And these people that you used to surround Muchemwa, America too, as he used to be called, these people, they were surrounding Muchemwa because Muchemwa was generous. Muchemwa was helping. And that's how those people used to surround him. Now, those people to surround him, Muchemwa has to help them. Where will Muchemwa get the money? Muchemwa used to receive money from different people. Like Siawan was saying yesterday, those who were getting contracts from government, they were giving out. PF used to put up this to say, we are giving you this contract. Make sure this ka 10%, upeleko ku secretariat, this ka shan upeleko whatever. And that is how people like Muchemwa got what they got. Muchemwa didn't go to steal. Muchemwa didn't put a gun on somebody's head to say, give me money. Muchemwa didn't go to government to get money. He didn't. It is because of his political arguments. Same with me. Same with me. It is because of my political arguments that I'm able to survive. I'm able to move around different countries and spend so much money. Because of my political arguments. Are you telling me I'm stealing? I'm not stealing. People are appreciating me. They are supporting me because of my political arguments. Because of my political influence. That is what happens. And this happens everywhere. But UPND, they are labeling these people as corrupt. They are labeling these people as corrupt. But what about them? Because even them, they received so much. Even them, they received so much. Even them, they received so much from different people. UPND received so much money. UPND received so much money from different people. So much money. But in the Lamashawo, it's okay. If those who are Abaletura Kuri HH, it's okay. Abaletura Kuri, it's okay. But Kuriba PF, it's corruption. Like I even explained, I did explain part of the issue of Faith Musonda, because some of you've been talking about Faith Musonda, and I did explain. Part of Faith Musonda, that money came during the time of elections, during the time of campaigns. And those people, they gave Kuriba PF, Nalabanama figures number, but I think they gave Kuriba PF, they gave about $5 million. But Kuri HH, they actually, I think they gave 3 million. Then Kuri no, 4 million. Kuriba PF paid 4 million. Kuriba HH, they gave 6 million. She didn't tell them about Faith Mutonda. That's what happened. It is a company, a big company, that gave 4 million Kuriba PF and 6 million Kuriba UPND, and this money went to Kuri HH. That's why you saw them, negotiating and ending the whole thing. Because during the time of elections, some people bale tula consequence, batula Kuri HH, batula na Kuri Edgar Lungu, not knowing new isa uka wina, but they were doing that. And that company is now doing fertilizer in our country. The company that gave that money, it's doing fertilizer. HH went even there to open that company. Because Bale Mutula, he used to receive money. But Shidava Mutulina, Enova Perenation, they gave more money to HH. Ishova Pered Galungu, Shaban corruption. How is that? How is that? The money he actually received a bigger chunk. No one is talking about it. Kuri Edgar Lungu, iyo ni corruption. So this is the thing, the propaganda of UPND. And by UPND, for them, it's even worse. Because for them, they are actually now even getting into government coffers. Masevo. Ku Egypt. That money came from government coffers. Bashtuma ku Egypt, baya kana. We lost money. We don't have those kind of situations in PF. Don't even talk about the honeybee. But Masevo did that. Then we talk about KCM. KCM, they are giving themselves the money. We are losing as Zambians. Mopane, we are losing as Zambians. Edgar Lungu, on the contrary, he was getting assets back to the government, back to Zambian people. HH is giving them out. Who is better? So, Mune were very careful. I know some of you talk out of ignorance. You don't know these things. Some of you, you run with it. Hey, Edgar Lungu, that is what Imperama gifts. You don't even know. What kind of gifts? Where did they go? How? You don't know. But you run with it. Hey, anyway, I think Nalanda-san, I've tried to, explain the best I could. I'm opening phone lines. Those of you who want to call in, you can call in and make your contributions. You know the number. I can't shout the number. If I shout the number, but let me shout. Let me do this first. Now let's pause. But anyway, let me just leave it. I think you know the number, Mwebantu. You can call on WhatsApp. You can call on our usual number. Maybe let me type it here. I'm going to show it, but I'm not going to show it on, I'm going to only show it on Facebook. 07. Ama numbers yana afuna na mumuntu these days. Ama numbers ya kusongira. Number okulaba nambe. Yeah. So I'll only show it on that's the number. That's the number. Yeah. I know somebody will say, hey, yeah, that's the number. Hello? Hello?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
The question that yes, afternoon. I'm saying now, how are we going to do it? Because these guys, they put themselves almost there everywhere. They are at issues that they are at court, they are at police, they are at the army, they are at almost every wing of government. Okay? So even if I think like you saw the numbers for CR1 last night. Yes, the numbers are overwhelming, quite right. Everyone is against these chaps. But how are we going to safeguard our ballots? Because it's like these people are merciless. They don't care. Actually, because I was privileged that I worked in one of the remotest, and these remotest places, it's difficult for us to safeguard the elections because the places are remote, and you send your representative there. They are beaten and chased. Yeah, so that's what we must work upon if we can. Otherwise, we may be fighting a losing battle.
Don't worry, I'll respond to that. Thank you very much. I'll respond to that.
Yeah.
I'll respond to that. It's a very good question. How are we going to, if I can paraphrase it, how are we going to get power from these people when they have entrenched themselves everywhere? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yes,
Ni chabe bwino.
Mlipuino?
Ni chabe bwino.
Awe, vaene mwakamba yavusa mboga siyawana na kugira pa propaganda yapo yava UPND ivambiri vintu vapanga mazambians kuti tifulike mutu because one niangane issue ya magasi, it has just died like that because vaziva bidogasi vaziva so paja pafeso zokambati wako vaziva wagwire. Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
But namanje kulipo wanitinaona anagwiriwa apa mailo yesterday siyawana nakambati wa minister wajakapenda wakavumbuka zimanjani he was cleared by the deck but izjamirandu zaso sembenwa PF tembe wauchosa kudeka kupereka ku police kuti uyambeni one given wachitavese so we expect that leve kuvula kuyiko loko anakuchitakiria ti uyambe one kaili ndiela muliyano analeta kuyamba watu kumlandi nasi because Kinkalefea, this country belongs to all of us. It doesn't belong to one individual or what. Fight against corruption should be seen being fought both sides, not only one side. one-sided polygon. Onga in mathematics. Kulibe plus one-sided polygon. You see. So, but I'll continue. What it is all to full concurrently be manta. But we shall fight tooth and nail.
Ziko. And let me just respond to the first caller. He's saying, what are we going to do? You know, I was also downcast on this issue. I was like, God, really, what's going on? Are we going to succeed with the, you know, we look so weak. We don't have resources. You know, people are scared. Are we going to succeed? I want to tell you, UPND may be strong because they are in power, not because they have got support, no, but because they are in power. But you have to realize that those people that we are talking about, they are Zambians. Those people that we are talking about, they are Zambians. So, as much as they are entrenching themselves, UPND cannot entrench itself so much so that they will be everywhere that other people will fail to do something. I can assure you that yes, if we go I'll start with the military because they are the highest. Yes, in the military, we have a number of people that UPND has planted there. You could even talk about the commander-in-chief. You could even talk about the general, the army general. You can even talk about that. But I can assure you, there are very few. There are more people who don't agree with what is currently going on. So those few cannot be able to hold the majority at ransom. You can go into ZNS, you can go into police, you can go into prison, whatever. These people, the majority are suffering. And you don't think that just because somebody who is on top, you know, he's a hacker in the Ichilema mind, and things will continue. No. There are people that are aggrieved. There are people that are not happy with what is currently going on. So in as much as this government, in as much as Hakainde Hichilema has entrenched himself so much in the institutions of governance, I can assure you that we have more people that feel the pain of what is currently going on. And those people who do the right thing at the right time. Those people, I want to assure you, that don't think that Hakainde Hichilema is mighty. Don't think that UPND is Wamiyaya. No. They will be shocked. They will be shocked. They will be surprised. They will not know what has hit them. Because the very people that they are thinking they are going to protect them. Some of them will say, no, we can't tolerate this nonsense. Some of them will say, we can't tolerate this nonsense. You can't fool all of them. You can't. Even in ECZ, we know that the top person there, Mwangala Zaromes, she's a UPND cadre. We know. As much as Mwangala Zaromes is a UPND cadre, going down ECZ, there are a number of people who are not happy. So Mwangala Zaromes can be on top there, but one day, the people down there, even that Kapishingan Director General of ECZ, they can all be cadres. But the people down there, some of them will say, no, we need to do the right thing. And at the right time, these people will react and say, this is what it is. Because Mwangala Zaromes can be a UPND cadre, but she's not going to conduct all the elections everywhere. She's not going to be everywhere in ECZ. She can't be. She's just one person. There could be 4 or 5, but these 4 or 5 people or 10 people cannot be everywhere to do everything. At the right time, these people that feel the pain of what Hakainde Hichilema has done, they will react. They will react. Whether in ECZ, whether in police, whether in defense, whether in whatever. I'm telling you, I'm very confident. Le satalala. God will work through some of these people, and God will work in people that we least expect. Because many times we usually look at the big names. We think about this, we think about this one, no. Sometimes God uses people that from nowhere. I'm telling you, it will happen. Me, I'm very confident of it. I want to tell you, keep this video. Haka in the Ichlema, we will not lead up to 2031. If you make a mistake in 2026 to rig the election, he will not survive the presidency. Therefore, I'm looking into the camera and I want you to keep this. If Haka in the Ichlema is going to rig the elections in 2026 so that he can go on up to 2031, takafike ku 2031, takafike. He will not, because, and I'm not saying this that he's going to die or whatever is going to be. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that he will not reach 2031. Mook, I know you're going. You keep this clip and share it. I am telling you, Haka in the Ichlema, yes, Bamwangala Zoromes, but we have a number, we have Musamba at the police ready to fight with people. We have whoever, everywhere. We have Baneli Muti everywhere. They have their own people. That's fine. That's fine. But in Demi Chishinka, 2026, Haka in the Ichlema cannot win an election. But I know they will try to rig an election. And when they rig an election, Haka in the Ichlema, takafike mu 2031. Takafike. And this is not because I'm bitter. This is not whatever. It is because the way people are complaining, the way we are suffering, I'm telling you, like myself, me, I'm suffering seriously. I suffer and it pains me really. I feel very bad. I'm hurt. And I know there are so many other people. There are so many people who are crying because of Haka in the Ichlema. There are so many people. And if you feel tafile pona pa fie le sawesu akatwasuka. That's why we are still living, some of us. That's why we are still living. Otherwise, we would have been extinct. We would have been sorted out. We have been sorted out. But God has preserved us. God has preserved us. When some of you thought that doors are going to close for us, doors opened. And we are safe. Doors have opened. We are safe. Other people are also struggling. Some of them, they're even some of them, they are just being preserved. And I'm encouraging all of you, whatever, don't lose heart. Haka in the Ichlema will not live as long as he thinks. I know somebody was saying that, oh no, we're going to, no, UPND is gone. UPND is gone. Just like what Sia once said, UPND is gone. And I can assure you is gone. Whether Haka in the Ichlema thinks that whatever, they will go. Haka in the Ichlema, let him force himself to pass 2026. To the other side, Ndemieva, Mukanjibukisha. I don't know what will happen, that I don't know. But I know that he will not reach in 2031 if he rigs an election. I'll end here. I'm not going to pick some more phone calls. I'll end here. Good night. Oh,